One of Southern California's most popular burger chains is moving its company headquarters out of the Golden State. In-N-Out Burger has announced plans to move to Tennessee. The company's decision to leave its Irvine, California location by 2029 after 30 years is raising questions about high taxes and strict regulations, as well as the business environment in California.
And who can blame them?
500 company employees work at the Irvine headquarters. In-N-Out will still have a location in Baldwin Park, California, which will be the West Coast base. The company will be opening a new headquarters in Franklin, Tennessee by 2026, which would oversee eastern United States operations. In addition, In-N-Out will open nearly 36 restaurants in Tennessee. Some of the 500 employees in Irvine will either move to Baldwin Park or be offered a chance to relocate to Tennessee.
Get me out of here! Please, somebody get me out of here!
The move to Franklin is a $125 million investment and is expected to lead to an additional 275 corporate jobs. The burger joint first opened in Baldwin Park in 1948, and by 1994, a company headquarters was established in Irvine. In addition to California, it has restaurants in Arizona, Nevada, Colorado, Oregon, Utah, Idaho, New Mexico, Texas, and Washington.
Dang, that's a lot.
Lindsay Snyder, the granddaughter of founder Harry Snyder, said, quote, "The move brings our In-N-Out family back together in a way that helps us better serve our customers," end quote. Senate Republicans in California called the move sad but not surprising. They claim that California is not promoting entrepreneurship and bad policies are hurting the state.
No one can argue with that. Who argues with that?
Other big-name companies such as Tesla, SpaceX, and Whole Foods have also moved their headquarters out of California in recent years to states where taxes are lower. The Tax Foundation ranks California 49th on its business tax climate list, behind only New Jersey. In addition, according to Newsweek, California has nearly 400,000 regulatory restrictions, making it one of the most regulated states in the country.
Hey guys, before we even get started with the news today, Terry, I want to send a shout out to our listeners because we're getting a lot of listeners and we got a lot of stories. So before we dive into some of this craziness in California that we continue to bring you, I want to say thank you to our listeners. I really appreciate you guys tuning in. And more importantly, I appreciate you sharing our content, and it just keeps getting better and better. And I got to tell you guys, Terry and I went on the Southern Freedom Tour. We saw that plot of land where In-N-Out is going. So we're very familiar with this, and it just looks like I can't figure this out, Terry. I mean, don't they need businesses in California to continue? Because it seems like they're driving all of them out.
Well, it's the Beverly Hillbillies in reverse. Tennessee is the place we ought to be. So we loaded up the truck and moved to Tennessee. It's amazing how for decades people have been saying that California is anti-business, California is high tax, California is high regulation, and of course the leftists say, "Oh my gosh, no! Utopia is not leftist. Utopia is not high tax. Utopia is not high crime or high homelessness. If we just had more tax money and more businesses paid their fair share, everything would be even more perfect." And in the meantime, all of these major corporations are moving out of California. It's not a surprise, but I don't know when they're going to learn. I don't know when they're going to learn because they keep doubling down. They keep saying it's just because we don't charge enough taxes.
Well, that's what I was going to say to you, Terry, and you have more experience. You're a little bit older than me, and you've been around, and you definitely spent more time in California. I can't think of another state that doesn't learn from their mistakes and make changes to fix things. Whereas California says they almost acknowledge that they're making these mistakes. And then, like you said, they double down on it and they keep going. Like you would think, okay, all of these businesses, how much did it cost them when Tesla's leaving? I mean,
Well, no, wait, didn't cost them anything. That one legislator, she said, get the F out of here to Elon Musk. So don't forget, they were happy. They were happy. He took all of that tax money, all of that, all of those employees, everything else to Texas. She was happy about that. So no, don't let the door hit you. By the way, there are states that don't learn. New York learned a thing.
I guess you're right. You got me there. By the way, guys, again, thank you so much for listening. Thank you for sharing. And if you haven't hit that subscribe button, please hit the subscribe button. We're going to keep bringing these stories. And as my partner, Terry Gilliam, says, it's not going to stop. It's never going to stop.
Now at 11, a corruption scandal unfolding inside the city government in Huntington Park after a blitz of raids targeting top officials. Good evening, I'm Micah Ullman.
And I'm Cher Calvin. In an investigation dubbed Operation Dirty Pond, law enforcement served search warrants at City Hall, the mayor's home, and the homes of several members of the city council.
Doctor. Well, we miss anyone?
The LA County DA's office says records and electronic equipment were seized, and at the center of it all, allegations of the misuse of millions of dollars. KTLA's Chris Wolf live in Huntington Park tonight. Chris.
Micah and Cher, City Hall is still taped off tonight. Suspicion about this multi-million-dollar community project actually surfaced many years ago. But today, finally, everything took a dramatic turn with all of these raids.
Foreman, every man for himself.
It was supposed to be a beautiful, sprawling new aquatic center and recreational facility for the community of Huntington Park. The price tag is unclear, but somewhere between $24 and $31 million. Several years after groundbreaking, there is no large swimming pool, no gleaming aquatic center, and of course no one enjoying it.
I say I have difficulty envisioning it.
Just a bunch of questions about millions of dollars gone missing, and investigators raiding multiple locations looking for evidence, paper trails, and answers. The LA County District Attorney's Office announced Operation Dirty Pond. Members of the DA's Bureau of Investigation executed search warrants at 11 locations in connection with an ongoing public corruption probe. The investigation actually began in 2022.
As a former councilwoman, I knew how to look for the dirt. Back in 2020, I began investigating why the city hired JT Construction for a job that they were not qualified to do. The prior project that they had was installing windows. This company didn't have a backhoe, they didn't even have an excavator, and the city went and bought an excavator for them to come because they had a guy in a truck.
That is so generous of you.
It was a no-bid contract. Then I started looking in further, realizing that there was an $8 million wire transfer to a bank in New York.
Terry, I'm going to let you in on a little secret here.
What's that?
Dirty Pond.
Dirty, dirty, dirty.
The Dirty Pond. That's the code word. We got a Dirty Pond situation going here in California. And Terry, why don't you break it down for us? What is going on with the Dirty Pond?
Well, again, Californians look at government as their God. That's their God. God can do no wrong. Yet here we are. We had all these states or cities that have corruption. Oakland, of course, the mayor got recalled. FBI called in. Now Huntington Park, not Huntington Beach, but Huntington Park, which is in Los Angeles County. I don't know why people think that these people that they put into office are just going to do everything they're supposed to do. I mean, first of all, how is it that the legislators, Willie Brown, wasn't he like a middle-class guy in San Francisco, and then he went to Sacramento and came back a multi-millionaire?
I believe
is that on his $80,000 to $100,000 to $125,000 salary? Absolutely not. It's yeah.
Well, so $24 to $31 million was allocated for this, and look they forgot to put the pool in. Maybe that was because maybe they had to take all of the Congress people, on a vacation, or they needed to allocate that money for them and not the pool. But
I love that they had to buy all they'd done is put in windows before, and they had to buy an excavator for the contractor they're paying $8 million to paying $8 million. They should have taken it from the Beverly Hillbillies. They should have dug a cement pond. At least they'd have something for their dirty pond money.
And Terry, what do you say to some of our listeners that are probably thinking, are these guys making this stuff up? Maybe they're stretching the truth a little bit, and maybe they're going a little beyond. Like, what would you say to them? Are we kind of fabricating this a little, or stretching what's really going on in California?
Part of my week, David, is trying to figure out which of the dozen stories I have from this week that show just the garbage going on in California that we're going to highlight, because I don't want to make this a 1-hour episode and 1 hour might not even touch it. So it's just the hard part is figuring out which of these stories coming out of California, showing the world why I don't think it's going to end anytime soon. I think California is going to keep doubling down on all of their failed policies, and people are going to keep leaving, and that's why we're here.
I concur. I can attest to that because we have a weekly meeting every week. Sometimes we have to meet twice a week. And Terry, every time I meet with him, Terry Gilliam is he is a knowledge of wealth when it comes to the craziness in California, and he is certainly the guy you want to talk to if you're thinking about leaving California. But he'll bring me a long list, and we have to choose. There's just too many crazy stories, and we can't do them all. You know, guys, when you look at the map, we're looking at the map of the United States. You see, California is up here, and Florida's down here, and I don't know if it's by default, Terry, but it seems like when you get to Florida, everything is going down. And when you're in California, everything is going up. And why is that, Terry? Can you explain it to our listeners today? Because I don't understand why it has to keep being like that.
I said it years ago. California does not elect public servants. They elect people who say every dime that you make is ours. We're just nice enough to let you keep a little bit of your income. In Florida, they actually are public servants, and they do their best to take care of the taxpayer. They want to lower the cost of home insurance. How about that? 11 more home insurance companies have come into the state. I think you said 11 have come back into the state after having all kinds of issues. Well, the legislature did something about it. Let me see. Is there any home insurance companies that have come back in? Oh, wait. They're fleeing California because the state said you can't charge enough for your insurance. You can't charge the homeowner enough to cover your costs, let alone any kind of profit. So they're leaving the state. And how about this? I want to point out one more thing, David. Did you notice? It was very quick. How many months of the year does the Florida legislature meet?
I don't remember.
2 months. 2 months. In California, they meet year round. You know why? Because they pass over 1,000 new laws every year. 1,000 new laws in California every year. And the Florida legislature, I know it's a smaller state, but it's not that much smaller. And by the way, it has massive surpluses. Does California have a budget surplus? Oh, no. It's a major deficit. What could go wrong?
Terry, did you see that? I had a little secret in that story. Did you catch that where they said that, and you might want to call your governor because they're saying they might abolish property taxes. Like how could that be possible? And is that something that we could look forward to, that they would abolish property taxes in California?
Well, the thing I love is that the Democrats, they say, oh, there's no way. How are you going to pay for police? How are you going to pay for? They don't think outside the box. They don't think any other way other than you just have to tax people. Oh, it's not their property. It's ours. But let's get creative. We have 70 million tourists a year that come to Florida. Do you think that maybe they could help pay for some of our police and everything else? I guarantee you they already do.
Yeah.
So, just come to Florida, folks. It's so much better here. It's so much freer. But I will say, let me add one negative. Because there's so much less crime and so much less going on, there's a lot more police officers checking speed limits, and I have to be careful of that.
I love seeing some of the videos of your police officers. They're doing a great job down in Florida. And by the way, guys, I mean, we're not here. We're not pro Florida. We're not pro Tennessee. We're not pro Texas. We're not even pro Southern Nevada. We're just pro. If you want to get out of California, we've got so many resources and we help so many people leave California effectively and efficiently that we would love for you to give us a call. We'll give you a free consultation on movers and lenders and realtors, you name it. That's what we do. We do it every day. And again, thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe to our channel, and we just keep on growing, and California keeps on making mistakes.
So I call it screwing it up.
Yeah, we'll talk to you guys soon. And again, thanks for listening. Bye-bye.